Hey everyone, welcome to our first video blog entry of 2016. I'm Brian, and today I want to talk to you about 2016 and setting some goals. New Year's Day or this weekend beginning January 2016. It's a great time to talk about our goals. Whether you kind of believe in resolutions or not. I think it's always a good time for us to look forward, and it's not always about what we want to do in the new year. I think it's often about what are our intentions. And so one intention I think we should all have for the coming year, and it's certainly something that I want to do, especially as a competitor, is to take more control of various situations, whether that's in life or as we're competing. How can we exert more control over what's going on? And to help instill this mindset, I want to share a quote with you um, from a book that I read this year, The Mindful Athlete. So if you know anything about me or you've read my blog, I like to read a lot. And one of the books I read this year was The Mindful Athlete by George Mumford, which was a good book. I liked it in terms of the philosophy around mindfulness and meditation and reaction versus response. Um, it doesn't necessarily help you with how to do some of those things, but it's a great philosophy book. And one of the quotes I got out of there was from a gentleman named Carlos Castaneda. He wrote a philosophy book, and so I want to share that with you because I think it's a lot about how we can look at things differently to take more control of our own situation. So the idea is the warrior mindset. And so Castaneda says the basic difference between an ordinary man and a warrior is that a warrior takes everything as a challenge, while an ordinary man takes everything as a blessing or a curse. So I want you to think about that for a sec. Because in our context of competition, the warrior is the great competitor, and the ordinary man is pretty much everybody else, right? And so think about how this ordinary man looks at things going on around him, and really looks at it as good luck or bad luck. Where the warrior or the great competitor chooses to respond to life so that he can get the most out of it, so he can learn from it, grow from it. And so we want to be that person, right? We want to be that great competitor. We want to be the warrior. So what are some examples in competition where we might face this kind of thing? So whether you're in a team sport or an individual sport like tennis, sometimes you're in tournaments and maybe you draw the best team or the best player, right? You might look at it like, oh, that stinks. Got to play this person. They're so good. Or maybe somebody you don't like or a team you don't like, right? So it's sort of bad luck, right? And you respond appropriately, right? So all the emotions are negative, and that's going to drive your performance, right? You probably don't play as well in those situations, right? Now, could you take this same situation and now look at it as a challenge, right? Could I now push this team or push this player, right? Could I somehow start to get under their skin, make them work hard, right? What's my challenge today? This is a challenge that I get to play this great player. Maybe I could see where I match up, and in the long term, I'm going to get something out of this, right? Another situation that this could happen is the reverse, right? We're playing against somebody who's lesser than we are from a competitive standpoint, right? Maybe they're not as good, right? And sometimes we go into these situations either not respecting them enough, and maybe we get bored, and we don't play well, right? Or maybe we put on pressure. Oh, everybody thinks I have to win this match, right? But this is another situation where you can challenge yourself, right? So what can I get out of this? Even though I know these players are not as good as me, is there something I could work on today that's going to make me better in the long term, right? Because it's not always about winning today. In fact, it's hardly ever about winning today. It's really about, your long-term career and how you continue to get better and better. So bring your own goals in that situation, right? Challenge yourself, right? And I think the word challenge, it's so important here. We often talk about getting in the zone, and one of the key elements of being in the zone is you have to feel challenged. Because if you're not challenged, if you're bored, you're not going to truly engage in what you're doing, right? So sometimes, we just are challenged by the nature of who we're playing, right? They're good. They're right in kind of our zone of competition, and they're going to challenge our skills. But sometimes that's not going to happen, right? And so it's going to be up to you to provide that challenge, and that's about taking control, all about control, right? So no matter what's going on around you, you're the one providing a challenge so you can be your best, okay? So, let's take more control in 2016, right? Let's be that great competitor, not the ordinary one. If you're watching this or if you read my blog, I know you don't aspire to be ordinary, and I'm on this journey with you. I don't aspire to be ordinary, but we're all kind of in different places, and we want to make sure that we continue to work in the direction of becoming that great competitor. Now, if you've been watching any college football, maybe you've seen this infomercial by the Southeastern Conference, and their commissioner, Greg Sankey, has this great quote, and I think it really applies to our topic today. He said, "There's no a great achievement that was ever produced by an attempt to be average." Right? So we do not aspire to be ordinary, my friends. Right? We aspire to be that great competitor. Like I said, I'm on this journey with you. So let's keep the conversation going. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about what you're going to do in 2016. Send me an email. I just want to wish you all a great 2016. Hopefully you will become that great competitor or continue your journey there. Continue to make your competitive career as great as it can be. All right. And I look forward to seeing you all real soon in our next video blog entry. Thanks.